Yo, what's up, world? It's your American boy, Filochko here, straight out of Brooklyn. And I gotta say that because I have to get something off my chest. This one is especially for Russia and maybe Ukraine too, but I don't know. But what happened was, I'm gonna give a little story, then talk about it after. What happened was I was where was I? We were in like Burger King or McDonald's, I don't know, somewhere in Moscow, Russia. We're in Burger King or McDonald's, this was yesterday. And a black couple walked by. And the dude, he was kind of swagged or whatever, and his girlfriend was black too, she was cool. And then one of the girls I was with goes, "Oh wow, I've never seen an African American couple in, but I rarely see African American couples over here." And I was like, "Wow, really? They're African American?" She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "How do you know he's American?" And they were just like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "You said he was African American. How do you know he's American?" And they're like, "No, we just say that for any black person. Any black person could be African American." And I said instantly, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Extremely stupid. And so I went home and wrote it on my wall, wanted to see what my fans thought about it. And a lot of them were trying to explain this to me in a sense of saying like, it's okay. It's just what we do. Now, if you know me, I never get into the business of what really goes on in Russia, like politics and all that stuff. I never put my 2 cents in it because I am American. I am American. So I keep my 2 cents to myself. And I'm like, hey, if that's what Russia does, that's what Russia does. That has nothing to do with me. But not this time. That has a lot to do with me. And let me give you an analogy with this. First of all, the whole just calling someone African American as something polite, that's for America. You're not American. So if you're calling a random person you see in Russia or in Ukraine an African American to be polite, that does not make sense. You are not American. I'm talking to the Russian person right now. If you're calling a Russian or any black person in Russia an African American to be polite, that makes no sense. That is only for Americans who are in America to say that to black people. So for example, when you're in America, it is a good idea to refer to a black person as African American to not be offensive, sure. But if the black person is in Russia, and you are in Russia with this black person, there is no reason for you to call him an African American unless he's like, yeah, I was born in America, or yeah, I was born in Florida, I was born in New York, I was born in California. Then it makes sense. Other than that, it is literally one of the most stupidest things I ever heard. And one of the things people tell me all the time is, well, it's politically correct in America for you to call white people Caucasians, and I say yes, it's a misconception and it is also incorrect and pretty stupid. But I can tell you this, not everyone in America knows anything about the Caucasus Mountains or whatever they're called, because I don't really even know about it. A lot of us don't know about it, but everybody knows what America is, just like everybody knows what Russia is. So let me give you an analogy that I forgot to give you before. If I were to say, okay, I'm gonna just call all white people Russian. All white people are Russian. So I'd rather not say Russian. Since all white people are Russian, I'm just going to say white people. Because all white people are Russian. So white people. So when I teach history, I should be able to teach that white people captured Hitler. White people. So every white country should celebrate. Russia, Ukraine, America, France, they should all celebrate capturing Hitler because they're all white. And white people captured Hitler. You wouldn't like that, would you? No, you wouldn't. Because that's changing history. When you say things like that and you change what an African American is, you're messing up history. You're messing it up. I'm an African American. And I don't think being African American is better than anyone else. It's just me. It's my style. It's the way I look. It's the way I talk. It's how I think. It's a lot. It's us. We made a lot of things that we want to not keep to ourselves, but be the proud makers of. And there's a lot of bad things that we do that I wish we didn't do. But other than all that, it's my identity, and a lot of people like me. So when you call other people me, when it's not true, of course I get offended. The same way you would if I said all white people are Russian and all white people captured Hitler. You would say that doesn't make sense. The Russians captured Hitler. Now you want to be correct? When an African or a random Asian person in Russia could be considered an American. Why don't you call Asian people Asian Americans? You don't do that. You only do that with black people. And that makes no sense. It's as if you don't want to say African Russian, which would make more sense. Even if, and then what if you say, but they're not Russian, they're not American either. But they're in your country, and you don't even want to call them American Russian. And I see that as an insult. You rather say, oh, they belong to some other people, they have nothing to do with us, but they're in your country, and you won't even consider them African Russian, when they could be citizens. But you rather look at them at random and say an African American. And you say, oh, we don't have time to put blacks, African blacks in groups. How many African Americans do you have in Russia? I haven't met one yet. I haven't met one. Everyone I met was African. And every time I see an African guy, I'm like, yo, what's up, man? We talk, we get along. You know, we try to talk, but I don't understand everything. But every time, any of the girls I hang out with, they all know. Whenever I see an African guy, not an African girl, but whenever I see an African guy, we kick it, we talk, you know, I want to hang out with them, all that stuff. I see them working, I always take what they give out and stuff to show love. I always do it. I have no problem with Africans, but that's bullshit. Africans are not African Americans. African Americans are African Americans. Why do I even have to make this video? That's all I really had to say about that. Y'all really need to cut that out because you're messing up my name. I'm proud to be Stars and Stripes. My family, ancestors, slaves to help make this fucking country, so I'm African American. And until you're born in America or you have that citizenship, you ain't it. And if you're not American, don't let someone call you what you're not. Be proud of what you are. If you're African and you're straight out of Africa, be proud of it, man. Be yourself, just like I'm myself. Find anything I say about myself a lie. You find out about it, I'll give you $1 million, because I always keep it real. I'm an African American. I'm an actor by profession. I'm not a real teacher, but I make videos teaching because I like acting and I like helping people. There you go. And I'm out. Later.